My audio. I'm going to keep my video. Hello for those of us that are joining from our virtual spaces. We're going to start our program in just a minute. First, I want to take a show of hands here in the room. Who has heard of this beneficial ownership and information report? Oh, everyone has. No? No, not yet? Okay, so we're going to talk about what it is. What are the requirements? What are the deadlines? But I want to preface this presentation by letting all of you know it is not as scary as it sounds. Okay? Easy peasy application process, and it'll take you maybe 5 minutes, and that's going at a glacial pace. Okay, so the Beneficial Ownership Information Report, it's also known as the BOI. Okay, we'll advance. What is the BOI? Well, it's a new federal mandate. So the federal government is requiring all U.S. businesses to make this filing report. It aligns with the Corporate Transparency Act, which has been around for a long, long time. But the BOI has just been instituted January 1st of this year. And most companies, most of you in this room, however, have until December 31, midnight, to get it done. It's very, very easy. The purpose of this report is really the government wants to know of all legal entities, so LLCs and corporations, for-profits, with some exceptions. Who owns the business? Who has control of the business? That's all it is. And their purpose is because they want to really flesh out shell companies, maybe by those owned from a foreign country coming into the United States, and that is legal. But they want to know who owns a business, who has control of a business, because they also want to identify any instances of money laundering. Okay, so we're going to go through, like I said, it went into effect January 1. Purpose is to control criminal activity. This is a free registration. I know there are some people out there, some companies out there that are offering their services to file this BOI report on your behalf. If you do that, you are paying for their time and effort. Otherwise, the registration is free, and it is so simple. Okay, once you do it, you're good to go, unless there's a great change in your ownership or structure. Then you will have to refile. All right, let's move on. Does it apply to you? Well, these are some guideline questions. If you have a US-based company, and it could be registered in Illinois, it could be registered anywhere in the United States, but if it is registered as an LLC or corporation, then yes, this BOI is a requirement of you. If you are a sole prop, that means you are working under the assumption of your legal name. There is nowhere to hide from there, so sole proprietorships are exempt from this filing. If you are any of the 501Cs, all our nonprofits, so 501c3, 501c6, they are exempt from this filing. Okay, but for the majority of the people here, I think we all need to make this filing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So who is a beneficial ownership? So it is that person or multiple that have a substantial control of the business. And we're looking at least 25% ownership and control. So if you're a single member LLC, that's you. If you have a multi-member LLC or if you have a corporation, then you have to calculate who has at least 25% ownership of your company. Okay. Does anyone have any questions to that? No? Okay. Let's move on. I told you this is going to be so easy. Okay, what is substantial control? Well, that could be the individual or individuals that hold a senior office in a corporation, for example. Those are our C-suites. If anyone in that business has ability to remove or add officers in their board of directors, that would be a sense of control. If you are a decision maker or any other control within the company, chances are you will need to be added to this filing. So it's one filing per business, just to clarify, but you may have one person listed as the owner or control, or it could be multiple people. Okay, it really all depends on how your business is structured. Okay, so ownership interest. We mentioned the 25% is the threshold. You could have a voting right, 25% voting right. You could have 25% of stock shares, 20 or any other convertible interest from that business. Okay, what are some exemptions? Well, there are some corporations out there that may list minor children. If there is a minor listed as owner of your business, they are exempt from filing. However, their parents or legal guardian then must be filed in their place. Okay? If you are an individual, a professional that acts on behalf of the actual owner, if you're an attorney, a CPA, making these decisions, but you do not have ownership, that is an exception. Okay? If your grandmother owns a corporation and you are listed as a benefactor, but grandma's still alive, that is an exception. When grandma unfortunately does pass away and the ownership is transferred to the heirs, that is the trigger to then make a filing. Okay? All right, company applicants. This may be the individual that actually goes onto the website, the FinCEN website, to make the reporting for you. So there are some thresholds in terms of dates. So for example, if your company was created 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 30 years ago, more than likely the person that made the LLC or corporation filing for you may not have a relationship with you any longer. So those that were created 2024 and prior do not need to list a company applicant. You just do the rest of the information, and we're going to go through a quick tutorial. However, if your company was created from January 1st, 2024 and on, then you must list the person that actually did the filing for you. In many cases, and probably 98% of my clients, they do their own LLC or corporation formation. So then they would be the owner and they would be the company applicant as well. Okay, so the January 1st is a very important date. Okay. What do you have to report? Well, we made a handy list here. It's very simple. The full legal name of the business. If your business has an assumed name, a DBA, doing business as, that name must also be listed. The address of the business, address of the owner, and perhaps address of the company applicant. Okay. If I'm not going to touch on ITIN because I don't think anyone here has to worry about that. You will need to list your EIN and then also upload a photo ID. And it's not listed on here, but you will need the birth date of any person that you list as a beneficial owner. All right. So address, name of the business, DBAs, address, EIN, and then for the people that we are reporting, full name, address, date of birth, and a photo ID. So your photo ID could be a driver's license, of course. It could be a state issued ID. If you don't have any of those, then a passport, a valid passport will suffice. Okay. All right, we went through that. That's for the beneficial owner as well as the applicant. These are important deadlines, and I just want to touch on that. So any company created last year or prior, you have until the end of this year at midnight December 31, midnight of this year. Okay, if your business was created, let's say January 1st of 2024, you have 90 days from issuance of your LLC or corporation. So when you actually receive your certificate, that is 90 days from that point. Moving into 2025, the span gets lesser. It's 30 days from issuance of your certificate or your notice of filing. Okay,
So what
yes.
if a company that was created on paper and you haven't done anything with it? Are you still accountable for these?
Paper meaning
So.
like a
if
business
I
plan?
set up an LLC February, but I've never done anything with it.
Oh, yeah. Did you receive a filing notice from the state?
No.
Then you don't have an LLC. Your legal if you formed an LLC or a corporation with any state in the United States, it's 90 days from that.
So
'Cause-
you have to do Indiana. I'm so sorry. We have
No.
to do, if we did Indiana, we have to do them as well.
Yes. It's not just Illinois, this is a federal law. So
Okay.
anywhere in the United States. Yes. But Michelle, if you have an LLC, that would mean that you filed it with a state.
With
Right.
Illinois. I have
Yes.
paperwork, but I don't have.
You don't have revenue,
Mm-mm.
even if you don't have revenue. Yeah, even if you don't have revenue, you do. Okay, so we talked about the January 1, which is a very important trigger. I'm waiting for someone to ask, what if you don't?
What if you don't?
Right, I was waiting on you to get to that.
Yes, I didn't put it in my slide.
Quick.
If you do not, if you miss these deadlines, what we're hearing is that there is a $500 a day penalty.
Oh.
How are they going to impose that? I don't know, but let's not be in a position to find out. Yes?
Everybody up.
Mhm.
I also heard that this has been challenged. And could be the possibility that it's not implemented.
It doesn't look like it, sir. It doesn't look like it. And I want to assure you, these may be some sensitive information, right? You're adding your name, your address, your birthday. So it is sensitive information in that respect. But it is going to a very secure government website, and no one will have access to it except for the agencies that need to. For the majority of us here, it is more of it's a task. It's a little bit of just a little bit of an unsightly task, but your information will stay safe. Yes.
I don't know if you covered this before I came in, but why are they doing it?
Yes, so the purpose of this is to really decrease criminal activity. Many times, of course, none of us here, but many times people will use an LLC shell to clean money in, money out. And they'll do that through a fictitious business. So this is a good way to decrease that type of activity. Okay. All
I
right.
have a question. So this is the first time I've heard of this. So what is this fund? Was this something that was broadcast on the news or?
Yeah,
Um,
so this BOI filing has been around for a long time, but it is now a federal mandate for businesses to complete it as of January 1. So the information has been disseminated. I think the news has covered it. So there's been some bits on social media. Your bank should have already sent you information.
The state of Illinois, we have to fill it out once a year also. I believe it's in October that we have to fill it out a form.
For the BOI?
Not for the BOI, but something similar that we are still on our company is still working.
Oh, I think that would be your refiling for your
Annual report.
annual report. What do you have,
This is gonna
sir?
replace that or
No. This is something
That's for the
totally
state,
different.
This is for the federal.
Yes. And once you do this, and I mentioned before, if nothing happens within your company, you don't take on any investors, you don't add on a new owner or co-owner, then you're good. Once you do it, you're fine. So what you were talking about, sir, is your legal entity refiling.
This is only once, no
Once.
every year.
No. What do you have, an LLC or corporation?
LLC,
LLC. Single member?
yes.
Okay, so it'll just be you. So it'll be easy for you.
What he was saying, if I correctly, he said this is just only one time or you have to do it every year?
One time. The BOI is one time. When you do your LLC or corporation renewal, that's every year.
Oh,
And I don't know if people realize this, but it's the first day of your anniversary month. If you don't refile renew by the first day of your anniversary month, you'll go into NGS, not in good standing. There won't be any penalties given to you for, I think, 30 days, but it will show up as NGS on the Secretary of State.
That's something new. It wasn't like that before.
No, I know, because I've had many clients whose anniversary, they thought they had until the date of their anniversary. It's not, it's the first day of the month.
Right, I thought
Yeah.
it was the 30th, that's how it was.
Yeah. Okay, so, yes,
So what about businesses that you've had and you really never did anything with it, and they might be in this NGS status where you haven't filed the annual fees and all that? Do you still have to do something with that?
mhm. Well, yes, so best course of action is to bring those LLCs back to good standing. So pay the penalties, make your filings, file your reports. If it's a corporation, your your annual meeting minutes. And it depends on how many years you've let it go.
Can you also just dissolve it, like what if you don't want?
You could
to?
dissolve it,
Okay.
Or do you still have to file those?
yes. Mhm.
There's no getting around it.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have any legal entities NGS anyway, right? That's best practice.
how
Okay.
do you go about dissolving?
Pardon me?
How do you go about dissolving?
So if you were formed in Illinois,
Mhm.
you would go to the Secretary of State's website, and using the database, you search for your business. You can actually see if your entity is in good standing or not. And then from there, you can renew, you can make your filing online. If you've gone 6 years more though, if you're 6 years late, you cannot do it online. You have to do it by paper. Okay, and I hope no one here is in that situation, right? Okay, we gotta talk then. Okay,
Haven't done anything with my first business. but
Yeah.
It's, I just don't do anything with it.
why not? Why don't we do something with it?
Nah.
Okay, we're gonna make an appointment, we're gonna do something with it. Okay, where do you report?
Okay.
You're gonna go to fincen.gov. I'm gonna share my slides with everyone.
Okay.
You can do it online at that website, very, very secure. Or if you'd rather print out a PDF, complete it, scan it, and then upload it, you may do that as well. But I encourage you to do the first. It's way easier. Okay, all right. What if something changes? Let's say you get a new CEO. Let's say that you have a new investor, new owners, whatever that could be. You have 30 days from the point of that happening to make a new report, to amend your original report. Okay? If nothing changes, then you never have to go on this website ever again. Okay? One and done, unless something big happens.
Well, how come they didn't send any paperwork out?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I know like the business banks have been doing it. Yes.
I haven't gotten
Thanks.
anything.
Yeah, Fifth Third. I know Fifth Third. We got ours from Fifth Third. Because my husband owns a business. Your accountant should be telling you that this is coming up, looming. No? Had no one?
But no one at the bank
Oh.
says the Bank of the America.
I
Yeah.
You
haven't
just go
gotten-
in there and they don't even talk to you. Okay, you wanna go to the ATM?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the municipalities have been sending out information. Have you truly not heard anything?
No.
No.
The only way I heard this is when I saw this.
Yeah. Instagram.
I have heard about it, but,
That's the only way I know.
And how did you get that, Michelle?
This is the annual report. And
Okay,
usually I go online and just, oh, it's an annual report.
Yeah.
For some reason I opened it up, I'm like, oh, what's this
Yeah.
behind my annual report?
it
I don't know,
is
what
it
this?
is a
And I hadn't
conundrum.
heard of it.
to be honest, because it's a federal law, but I feel like they should be doing, I don't know, a little bit more. But business organizations such as the Women's Business Development Center, we have really gone out of our way to push this information out to our clients, to our community. It's on our website. We have a video on our website. And then later in the year, we're going to have what we call office hours if anyone needs assistance. You know, the last few days, rush. Yeah. But let's not wait until the last few days, okay?
But it's on your guys' website?
Yes, yes.
What is it? Cause I know my friend told me about it and I think I did it already for one of my business.
Okay, then you should have received, it'll show in the video next, but if you did it completely and correctly, you will receive a confirmation that your report is filed. Okay, so see if you got anything from FinCEN.
Will it be email or they're gonna send anything out? Bob?
No, it'll be my, yeah, I think that's the problem is that we're such a digital community nowadays, you know? Okay, so this is a very, very brief 3-minute video on how to do it. Okay, I think it would behoove all of us to watch. I'll make it a little louder.
Hello, I am with the US or FinCEN. You may have heard about this new anti-money laundering law, the Corporate Transparency Act, that requires many companies doing business in the United States to report information to the US government about the real people who own or control them. Today, I'm going to show you how I would file a beneficial ownership information report. I'm going to start with the website fincen.gov/BOI. On the website, I can see some information that will help me determine if I need to file and what types of information I would need to provide. Let's say I'm an owner of a small business, ABC Inc., that I recently formed with my Secretary of State. I've reviewed the small business resources on FinCEN's website and determined that my company is not exempt from reporting. So I will click here and file a report.
To do, yeah. And that concludes our presentation. Do we have any questions?
We don't need to put the social security number?
That's why it's really not, no, because your social security doesn't have your, I mean, it's not on your license any longer, right? Okay, yeah, so just address, birthday.
I mean, the EIN, the company number, yes, but the
Yes.
personal social security
No.
number. we don't have to
Mm-mm.
put it.
No, and it is so simple as you saw today. So please do it yourselves. Do not waste your hard-earned money on having someone do it for you. If there are any troubles, I encourage you come make an appointment with me. We can do it together through Zoom.
What they do with that information? Do they check the background of the company or the background of the owner or not?
You know what? I'm not sure, but they just want it. Yeah. I don't know how they would manage to check every single application that goes through. It's a lot, yeah.
How do you, cause I know I did this, I know I did.
Okay, because what you showed me was your
As I
articles
see-
of, yeah, for Indiana.
Can't pull it up for some reason, but I know one back I did. too.
Okay, that looks familiar to you.
Yeah.
Then you would have received something.
Yeah.
Did you take a
Mhm.
picture of it maybe? No? Okay. Is that it?
Upcoming program.
Yes, so the Women's Business Development Center loves to do cohorts. Cohorts are multi-week educational opportunities to learn how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to get funding. If any of you are interested in government contracting or corporate contracting, we do have a beginner's boot camp for that. We do a monthly Starting Your Business in Illinois webinar. I do an in-person workshop here in this room. And then we also have twice a year Grant Accountability and Transparency Act. And that is a requirement if you are interested in applying and hopefully receiving an Illinois state grant. Okay, but I encourage you all to go to our website, that's WBDC.org, and see what we have on hand. There's always something for everyone.
You said it's only for women?
No, that is a misnomer. Yes, it's open for everyone. No, so we are the Women's Business Development Center, but we help entrepreneurs, everyone. But we do have a focus on women, minorities, and veterans. Okay, but as an Illinois SBDC, our services are open to all, and I mentioned earlier in the evening that it is at no cost to you. Okay, yes.
At what point, you said that's what cost, so at what point is a cost involved?
So our cohorts, our educational opportunities, our webinars, free of charge. The only thing we do charge is when you go after women business enterprise certification or women owned